Welcome back to 2002 where this amazing game was created. This game was developed by 2015 Inc. and was published by EA Games. On this game you play as Lieutenant Mike Powell, the member of the OSS. As you can see, it is now D-Day, and this is an iconic scene from this game. This scene was inspired by Saving Private Ryan. And interestingly enough, Steven Spielberg worked on the original game as well as this one, Medal of Honor Allied Assault, which is and probably the only game that Steven Spielberg will ever direct. In this mission, it is your job to survive the beach. You have to run up to the beachhead, get some bungalows and blow up some barbed wire and head up to the first bunker up ahead. This mission has been reused in other games such as Call of Duty. This game in particular makes you feel like a real soldier on the battlefield, especially when you're ducking down into cover, pulling out a sniper and shooting some German soldiers using MG42s. This game was rated teen, but don't let that fool you, this game can be really challenging and really brutal at certain times. You may also recognise some of this scene from Medal of Honor Frontline, which is, in my opinion, a watered down version of Allied Assault. 2015 Inc. went to go make a new game later on down the line. That game was called Men of Valor, which was a Vietnam War shooter, but the sad thing is the game didn't really take off really well and is not as iconic as Medal of Honor Allied Assault, which resulted in 2015 not making any more games in the future. Most of the team that worked on Medal of Honor Allied Assault later on joined Infinity Ward in the future, creating iconic games such as COD 4 and the original Modern Warfare 2. This is the opening mission where you're in a truck with your squad and you are followed by your allies from behind. They are in disguise with fake document paper. The enemy finds out and then your cover is blown. There is a German soldier on the roof who shoots the truck and kills your allies from behind, which also takes life from the player, as this is in-game and not a cutscene. Within this game you travel to iconic various locations such as Omaha Beach, Africa and Norway. The first location you encounter in this game is Africa. You and your squad infiltrated the German village, but then you became the sole survivor. You have full freedom on this scene. You can go all guns blazing, or you can be as stealthy as possible, but either way that does not matter as you will end up in encounter later on in the game, as this is more of an arcade shooter rather than a tactical shooter. There is one part of the game though where you have to be stealthy and make sure you don't get spotted by the spotlights. If you do, it could be game over for you or for your partner, with Jack Grillo, the SAS soldier, who has to be kept alive through various missions throughout the game. There were more Medal of Honor titles in the future, but for me they couldn't get the same feeling as what they did on Medal of Honor Allied Assault. Their future installments actually became their downfall. It seemed as if Medal of Honor has lost their identity as they went into the more modern timeline where Call of Duty and Battlefield took place. This Medal of Honor game is actually the third installment, as there were two other installments made for the PS1. The first game was released on Halloween '99. The game was called Medal of Honor. The second game was called Medal of Honor Underground, which was released in 2000. 2 years after the second game, Medal of Honor Allied Assault was born for the PC, with better mechanics, better visuals and better gameplay. If you are old enough, you probably remember the online modes that the game had. Just to name a few, there was Team Deathmatch, Free For All, Liberation and a couple others. Many people back in the day would absolutely flood the servers. If you want to go back down to memory lane, then you can. There is a mod. You can get this mod on ModDB. The mod is called Medal of Honor Cooperative and it works for Medal of Honor Spearhead. Speaking of Spearhead, Medal of Honor Allied Assault released two DLCs, one called Spearhead and one called Breakthrough. The two DLCs are more like standalone games, where you play as two different protagonists. In Spearhead you play as Sergeant Barnes, who is from the 101st Airborne. The game starts with you on the plane with your allies ready to jump out of the plane. As soon as you jump, the plane gets destroyed, killing all allies that are behind you. As you are gliding down towards a little barn, you see one of your allies fall from the sky with no parachute. You then crash through the roof of the barn and you have to cut yourself free. From there on, you have to fight for survival until you meet the British wearing red berets. You fight alongside these commandos as you are the sole survivor of the 101st Division. In Breakthrough, you play as Sergeant John Baker, a character who later returned on the PSP game Medal of Honor Heroes. You are from the 34th Infantry Division. The game starts off with you in a jeep, which takes you straight to the battlefield. The campaign covers the Kasserine Pass, based in North Africa. After the first part of the campaign you end up in Sicily, then you fight your way through Monte Cassino. Personally for me, the sniping in this game is absolutely fantastic. Every shot from the sniper feels highly satisfying. This mission alone is iconic, as this is meant to be one of the most hardest part of the game. This mission is really good, as it's a massive challenge if you put it on hard, which is also very satisfactory. The times I've played this mission is unbelievable. It is absolutely amazing. This mission will probably remind you of the scene from Saving Private Ryan when there's a sniper in the watchtower. If you have not played this game, and if you have watched Saving Private Ryan, then think back to that moment where there's a sniper in the watchtower. This entire mission is just as intense as what you see in Saving Private Ryan. The enemy is hidden behind the many trees, bushes and windows around the player. You have to be vigilant and pick out all the enemy soldiers that are hidden around you. It's a lot more satisfying when you save your team as well. As soon as you have cleared out the whole village, you have to obtain the rocket launcher. Once you've picked up the rocket launcher, you have to go up to the gate and blast the doors wide open. Out of all the Medal of Honor games, including the DLC, this one will be by far my favourite game of all time. And that's it guys for today. Thank you very much for watching my video. This was my first, but it will not be my last. If you liked the video, then consider subscribing and giving me a like.